We're here. We made it. Oh, actually, speaking of. Oh, fine. How are you? Yeah.
Well, our surgery is,
Yep.
kind of a different kind of party.
Yeah. Not the party you want to say for too
No,
long. Yeah.
it beats death.
There you go. There you go.
Give my best to Bobby.
I will.
I miss him.
Yeah.
Greetings, can you hear me? Okay, good. Our opening song for this month is Now Let Us Sing, number 368. Unfortunately, Rob is not here to direct you, so I will just stand here and I won't wave my hands. Thank you. My name is Erica Strauss, and my pronouns are she, her. Welcome, all of you, to St. John's Unitarian Universalist Church. Am I not coming through?
Yes.
Okay, this is tricky.
Yep.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Each Sunday, we gather in community to seek truth, learn about love, and care for one another. We are a welcoming congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association, and as such, we honor the racial, economic, cultural, age, physical ability, sexual orientation, and gender diversity of our members, friends, and visitors. All of you who are here are welcome here. A special welcome to visitors this morning. I invite you to stop by the welcome table in our lobby right out here and to join us for refreshments and conversation in our fellowship hall, which right through the lobby after the service. And if you are new here, please look for the yellow cards. There are connect cards in the backs of seats along here, and let us know. And now we have announcements. We have one announcement from, Debbie Combs, and one from Carol Fensel.
Good morning. I was hoping that one of my partners in crime from yesterday would be here to do this, but they're not. So I'm going to do this announcement about the rummage sale. First of all, I want to thank everyone who volunteered. You guys are wonderful. And I have to tell you that when I pulled into the driveway and I saw so many people helping to put up that huge tent, I thought, what a joy it is to have people like this in the congregation. So I appreciate that. So we don't know how much money we made, but we think we did better than last year. That's what Ann thinks, and she was the one collecting the money and putting it in the safe. But just to let you know, in Curl Pfeiffer, we have books left over. Whatever's left over will go to the Friends of the Library warehouse. So see what's out there, because it's very different from what it's been the past few Sundays. The other thing that we didn't put in the St. Vincent de Paul trailer was the artwork, so if there's anything that catches your eye. Anyway, and I think we're just saying to donate something. And then when you first walk into Kroll Pfeiffer on the right side, there are tables full of boxes. And so if any of you are moving, please take some boxes. Okay, otherwise what you could do, you could take a couple of boxes if you have curbside recycling and get rid of them that way. Anyway, so I'm sure you'll see more about how much money we made when we know. And thanks to everyone for donating, volunteering, and shopping.
And thanks also to the team that make this happen. Carol.
Hi, I'm Carol Fensel, and if you notice, we have 2 QR codes in the service this morning. I'm encouraging you to think about the one for the St. Johners that's about the Chalice Group registration. If you're somebody who likes to use QR codes and find out right now that you want to get signed up for a Chalice Group for this fall, please do. Our Chalice Groups will be running between October and May. That's for 8 months. So you'll look at that and see what is a day or night that fits your schedule best. What's different this year, we have 2 things. One is that we will have a Saturday morning group, and that is open to people who are 12 years old and up. So you may have some teens in your family or friends who might be interested in being a part of a Chalice group. And then the second thing is we're asking if you would use childcare for the 8 times, because that is a different kind of arrangement. We've not offered that before. We're trying to see if that's something we can work out to make Chalice groups more available. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you. There are some other announcements in your order of service. Please take a look at them. UUA General Assembly Program Series, and there's a URL for that, and UU The Vote and the Meet the Moment team down below. We're going to be doing some postcard writing. Okay, I think that's it for announcements. There are many great things happening at St. John's. Please review your order of service, and you may want to check out the TV in the lobby or bulletin boards in the fellowship hall. Now, please put your cell phones into silent mode so you can be fully present here. And again, a warm welcome to St. John's.
Our chalice lighting words this morning are from Reverend Deborah Falk. It's called "The Chalice is a Symbol." A chalice lit in our midst is a symbol of our liberal faith, built on the foundation of freedom, reason, and tolerance, sustained by acts of kindness and justice. A faith that visions a world flourishing with equality for all people, that demands the living out of goodness, that requires thoughtfulness of wholeness. This flame is the symbol of the spark of all of this within each of us. And so good to see all of you.
Okay, please join us in our words of affirmation together. This is the mission of our faith, to teach the fragile art of hospitality, to revere both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to witness to all that we must hold the whole world in our hands. And now we have hymn number 6, Just as Long as I Have Breath. Every week, we make time in our service to ground ourselves in what we value. We celebrate and honor our joys and concerns by coming forward to place stones representing all that we carry into the sand of our shared community. If you would like a joy or concern to be read, please leave them on the table, and there are places to write on the table also. If you are online, please enter a joy or concern in the chat that you would like shared, and we will read them from the pulpit.
Please join me in holding some space of quiet energy within ourselves, space for our whole community. And after a moment of silence together, then I'll share some of the written thoughts and concerns that people have on their hearts, and then we'll move into a meditation together. Let us go into silence. I want to lift up a couple of concerns. Jean Nightingale is mourning the loss of her sister Nancy, who died yesterday after a long battle with cancer. Nancy Schwab was a founder and director of Montessori School in Springfield. Our thoughts are with Jean Nightingale and her family. John Kachuba writes, "Today is Mary Newman's 76th birthday. And Carol Fensel writes, concerned for the trauma of so many in our community after these storms we've had recently. We know there are so many more concerns and joys that people don't necessarily bring to others. Maybe they don't even bring to a close friend. But we know that they are on their hearts. Perhaps I believe that our bodies also carry concerns, thoughts. So hold that for yourself. Hold that for others as we continue to build the beloved community, both here at St. John's and around the world. Please join me in this spirit of meditation and prayer. This is called Witnessing Prayer by Kate Steinberg. Spirit of life that calls us to love, care that calls us to care, presence that calls us into presence. We give thanks that we have been brought together in this beloved place, this holy sanctuary, here and on Zoom, this sacred harbor where we bring ourselves as we are, in times of sorrow and in times of joy, in times of confusion, in times of fear, in times of clarity, in times of quiet acceptance. In our efforts to pay closer attention to our inner lives, to each other, and the world around us, may we notice a divine essence today, however this essence expresses itself. May we cultivate presence and awe while we attune to murmurs and shimmers within and around us, whether it be the spark of a new idea, a vulnerable share from someone we love, or unexpected warmth from someone we don't know. May we continue to attune to what Reverend Howard Thurman called the sound of the genuine within ourselves. May we become quiet enough and still enough to notice the call deep within us that lures us towards what matters most. This call that lures us towards freedom and purpose. We ask for guidance and space and time to do just that, so we can lead the lives we feel most called to live. Today, we remember the people who have paid close attention to us in our lives. These people have loved us into being through the way they witnessed us. The way they attuned to us both strengthened us and transformed us. There may be only one person we think of who has done this for us throughout our lives. We give thanks to them today. We say, thank you for witnessing me. Thank you for paying close attention to the stirrings of my heart. Let us take a moment and think on who that someone or someones might be for you. Maybe there was someone who urged you on. We also consider someone who may want to be witnessed by us. Perhaps this is someone we haven't been able to make time for. Someone we love who dearly wants our attention. May we find a way to say, I'm here with you. I'm paying close attention to the stirrings in your heart. May we continue to cultivate the practice of paying close attention so that more people feel lovingly held in our hurting world. May we meet this moment and all moments ahead with spaciousness and presence. May we deeply and lovingly witness the person in front of us, beside us, and within us. Amen, and blessed be.
It works. This is a good one. We have now the story for all ages. The story today is going to be familiar to some in our congregation, slightly changed, but it's called The Three Questions. I'd like to invite the children up, and anybody who would like to sit in the front row or here. Any adults are welcome as well. Oh.
You can just read it. You don't have to, because you're having to hold
Okay,
that.
thank you. Welcome. Okay, this is called The Three Questions. There once was a boy named Nikolai.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we are. Okay. Who sometimes felt uncertain about the right way to act. I want to be a good person, he told his friends, but I don't always know the best way to do that. Nikolai's friends understood that they wanted to help him, and they wanted to help him. If only I could... What? I'm sorry. Okay. If only I could find the answers to my three questions, Nikolai continued, then I would always know what to do. Nikolai's friends considered his first question, when is the best time to do things? Who is the most important one? And what is the right thing to do?
Those are some big questions, huh?
They are. Nikolai's friends considered his first question. Then Sonia, the heron, spoke. To know the best time to do things, one must plan in advance, she said. Gogol, the monkey, who had been rooting through some leaves to find something good to eat, said, you will know when to do things if you watch and pay close attention. Then Pushkin, the dog, who was just dozing off, rolled over and said, you can't pay attention to everything yourself. You need a pack to keep watch and help you decide when to do things. For example, a coconut, wait a minute. For example, Gogol, a coconut is about to fall on your head. Woo! Nikolai thought for a moment. Then he asked his second question, who is the most important one? Those who are closest to heaven, said Sonia, circling up into the sky. Those who know how to heal the sick, said Gogol, stroking his bruised noggin. Those who make the rules, growled Pushkin. Nikolai thought some more. Then he asked the third question, what is the right thing to do? Flying, said Sonia. Having fun all the time, said Gogol. Fighting, barked Pushkin right away. Then the boy thought for a long while. He loved his friends. He knew they were all trying their best to help him answer his questions, but their answers didn't seem quite right. Then an idea came to him. I know, he thought. I will ask Leo the turtle. He has lived a very long time. Surely he will know the answers I am looking for. Nikolai hiked up high into the mountains where the old turtle lived alone. When Nikolai arrived, he found Leo digging a garden. The turtle was old, and digging was hard for him. I have 3 questions. I came to ask your help, Nikolai said. When is the best time to do things? Who is the most important one? What is the right thing to do? Leo listened carefully, but he only smiled. Then he went on with his digging. You must be tired, Nikolai said at last. Let me help you. The turtle gave him his shovel and thanked him. And because it was easier for a young boy to dig than it was for an old turtle, Nikolai kept on digging until the rows were finished. But just as he finished, the wind blew wildly and rain burst from the darkened clouds. As they moved toward the cottage for shelter, Nikolai suddenly heard a cry for help. Uh-oh. Running down the path, he found a panda whose leg had been injured by a fallen tree. Oh dear. Carefully, Nikolai carried her into Leo's house and made a splint for her leg with a stick of bamboo. The storm raged on, banging the doors and windows. The panda woke up. Where am I? She said. And where is my child? Oh dear. The boy ran out of the cottage and down the path. The roar of the storm was deafening. Pushing against the howling wind and drenching rain, he ran further into the forest. There he found the panda's child cold and shivering on the ground. That must have been scary, huh, you think? Okay. The little panda was wet and scared, but alive. Nikolai carried her inside and made her warm and dry. Then he laid her in her mother's arms. Leo smiled when he saw what the boy had done. The next morning, the sun was warm, birds sang, and all was well within the world. The panda's leg was healing nicely, and she thanked Nikolai for having saved her and her baby from the storm. At that moment, Sonia, Gogol, and Pushkin arrived to make sure everyone was all right. Excuse me. Nikolai felt great peace within himself. He had wonderful friends. He had saved the panda and her child, but he also felt disappointed. He still had not found the answers to his 3 questions. So he asked Leo one more time. The old turtle looked at the boy. But your questions have been answered, he said. They have, said the boy. Yesterday, if you had not stayed to help me dig my garden, you wouldn't have heard the panda's cries for help in the storm. Therefore, the most important time was the time you spent digging the garden. The most important one at that moment was me, and the most important thing to do was to help me with my garden. Later, when you found the injured panda, the most important time was the time you spent mending her leg and saving her child. The most important ones were the panda and her baby, and the most important thing to do was to take care of them and make them safe. Thank you. Remember then that there is only one important time, and that time is now. The most important one is always the one you are with. And the most important thing to do is good for the one who is standing at your side. For these, my dear boy, are the answers to what is most important in this world. This is why we are here. The end. That's a great story.
Is an opportunity to recommit to this place and to these people. It is as much a ritual as singing together, lighting our chalice, or reciting our unison affirmation. It is a reminder of that form of love we call generosity. It is how we show that we believe it is important to worship together, to help our community, and to say yes to the values of our faith. Pledges and donations can be made to St. John's via the offering plate and online via the information on the slide behind me. The offering will now be gratefully received. on? Okay.
How about mine?
Okay. So for some of you who met me 3 weeks ago on August 2nd, so I am the new minister here at St. John's. Reverend Bridget is the new minister at First U. So thank you for... So we both literally almost arrived here just a little while ago, and we're learning all kinds of things that both of our congregations do. And one thing that we've learned, that we were introduced to, told a couple months ago, and we were asked our opinion on, is this sharing every other Sunday thing between our congregations. And we're like, well, sure, let's go on. Great. And then this morning I learned that it's been going on for at least 10 years, maybe more. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. Somebody's going to tell me after the service how long this has been going on. And but one question that I had, so you're going to find out about me. I don't really like being confined. So this feels kind of confining. So one of the ways that I wanted for us to kind of get to know each other, because we're in the very beginning stages of like, who are these people, is here's just a little bit of information about me. So I thought we would talk a little bit today about what I call my mantras. So things that I think on or reminding myself about why I do the things I do, and why, like, if I'm veering off into maybe a belief or behavior I shouldn't do, like, oh wait, my North Star is this. So, but then thinking on what I believe is our, why do we do this? And part of this comes back to, so I became a Unitarian Universalist, I don't even want to say the year, but it's been it's been quite a while. But one of the things that first drew me to Unitarian Universalism, my home church is in Greensboro, North Carolina, and so they had this hallway. And so there was like this stack of UU World magazines. And so I decided I'm going to learn about these people. And this is like long, they had a website obviously and everything, but the magazines got my attention. And what I noticed was these are people who are self-reflective, who can notice what they're doing, they make apologies, and they try to do better. Even though, man, trying to do better is a hard thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So going back to like, where does this idea come from of like, we can always learn to grow better? So we were talking about like, I think back to we have the principles that began in 1985, and then in 2024, then we changed Article 2, and so we had a little bit of that change. So if we go back to our basic principles, number 4 was?
The free and responsible search for truth and meaning.
Right, a free and responsible, because sometimes people forget the responsible part. And it's like you have to be responsible for like, what is it I believe and where am I getting stuff from? And
But I read it on the internet, Karen.
Right. Yeah. So that makes it true, right? It's okay, yeah. So we have that. And then when in 2024, then, after several years of study, because of course it takes us a long while to adjust to things, we have to have big, long votes and all of that kind of stuff. So in 2024 at General Assembly, which if you're new to the UU World, General Assembly is an annual convening of delegates from our congregations. And so this year it was kind of a hybrid, and that year I believe it was fully online. So there was a vote on changing this one section of the bylaws from the Unitarian Universalist Association, which is an association of our congregations. I know it's complicated, I'm getting kind of wonky, but that's okay. So we get into these changes. So if you look, that I notice the beginning, if many of our t-shirts, I noticed Erica was wearing this shirt because there's pluralism, there's the values, and then people kind of put them in the center. So we think of love at the center. It's the center of what we do. So if you want to read this first part, Bridget.
Sure. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love.
Man, that's some heavy stuff. But I especially like that we are accountable to one another. And so we have to actually do the work for growing ourselves, and we're accountable to each other for doing that work. And so this first part on the principles, because there was this whole discussion of have we lost the principles and everything. Well, some of this language got into other parts of the new values. So the fourth principle, free and responsible search for truth and meaning, also shows up under pluralism. We covenant to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Yes, we want to learn from each other. We don't say, you have your belief, I have my belief, you have your belief, but we just keep our beliefs in our own little silos. Like, that's not helpful, is it? Because you may have some information or a belief system that may help me, right? So I'm cutting myself off from more information if I'm like, nope, I have all the answers. It's not very helpful, is it? And then one of my new favorites of the values is transformation. Transformation, we adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritages. Never complete and never perfect. So all of those kinds of things, I think, ground us in the need for mantras, this is how I'm learning, this is my reminder to myself of this is what I believe. And so Reverend Bridget and I talked about what are the things that guide us. So we're just going to do a little bit of a dialogue about the things that come to our minds that help us. And then when we get to the greet your neighbor section, so think on this, what are things that help you when you might have wandered off the path? Maybe you were rude to somebody or something because, we're humans. What helps you get back on track? So, Reverend Bridget, what are some of the things that you use as mantras or as kind of a guiding light?
So those of you that were at the service last week over at First U, you found out that music is a big part of my spirituality. And so for me, little snippets of songs, especially like that repeat, are a big part of what I play in my brain when I need to reset. So, for example, one of our hymns, Meditation on Breathing, is a good one. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. Kind of helps ground me in that moment when I need to calm and center. There's another one when I'm feeling kind of all alone. It's a song by Alexandra Blakely, and it's called Carry This All. And it goes, you do not carry this all alone. No, you do not carry this all alone. This is way too big for you to carry this on your own. So you do not carry this all alone. So reminders that we are interdependent, that we have each other, that we have community. These are things that I sing in my head when I need grounding. So.
Wow, thank you for sharing. And I definitely want to, when we're done here, I want to write down the names of those musicians. There are a couple that I think of. Carrie Newcomer is one of my favorites. I want to say Melanie, I can't remember her last name, but Demore, yes. Yes, thank you. Because this is what I'm saying, like we all know different pieces of information and we help each other. So I come from a background of my undergraduate degree is history and political science. I have a master's in public administration, and so I've done all kinds of different leadership type aspects. So my mantras are more about like organizing people. And so I tend to, the ones that come to me that I try to keep in mind is one is surprised people behave badly. Now, What that means is communicate, 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 because it's a lot easier to do preventive, upfront communication than to have people be mad at you later and because you've done something that they weren't so happy about. Sometimes, and being in leadership role is like this awkward thing where sometimes you just have to make the change. We're just going to do this thing. And sometimes you have to have conversations. And part of being a leader is trying to figure out when to do which. And sometimes you mess up. And but we try our best. And so surprise people behave badly. And another one that I try to keep in mind, especially in our congregations, is don't fight the river. And so basically what they mean is like, would you go kayaking against the river? Right? Anybody gone kayaking against the river? No. Okay, well, it's not fun.
Takes a very special person.
So you have to be aware which direction is the water going. Go that direction. And so I think of that in things like on like a Sunday after Thanksgiving or a Sunday after Christmas. Don't plan some big event service because you're going to have a lower attendance service. And it's not personal. That's just how it is, right? You can get upset about it or annoyed, but what's the purpose in that? Don't fight the river. This is how it is. And so life is always about like when to balance out. This is how it is with, we need to make a little change in this. So how do you do that for yourself while also not taking it personally? A book that helped me a long time ago is The 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. And so one of the first agreements, I couldn't tell you all of them now off the top of my head, but number 1 is don't take anything personally, and which is incredibly hard to do. But it takes ongoing work and effort, but it helps for things to not be so anxious. So, given the time, I would like we have the next slide on greet your neighbor. CJ, if you could put that up. So these are just a couple of questions that might help guide some conversation with somebody around you. What are some guiding mantras that you use in your life? Maybe there's a song that comes to your mind. And then have your guiding mantras changed over time because you might be exposed to something different that might have gone, oh, well, this new thing is helping me now. Do you want to give any more thoughts on how they might talk to each other, or any more thoughts on your own guiding mantras?
The other thing is I'm a big person who remembers quotes and snippets of things. So sometimes those quotes from other people, are my guiding principles. One that I repeat often is from Julian of Norwich, back in the 16th century. All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. This is something I've used a lot in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I love that because it's just this reminder that things, it hasn't worked out maybe yet, but just hold on. And, I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but I just going to keep staying
as John Lennon said, it's all okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end.
We're just going to keep going. So feel free to turn to someone next to you or someone that you did not come with and see what kind of thoughts do you have. And especially about we are responsible for growing ourselves. And so what tools do you use to help you as a guiding mantra? And then we'll call back in a few minutes. What? What did you say?
Nice, yes. Hymn number 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song.
Actually, please remain standing and read with me together the unison benediction. Let us teach the fragile art of hospitality. Let us revere both the critical mind and the generous heart. Let us prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness. Let us witness to all that we must hold the whole world in our hands.
As we extinguish this chalice today, I'm going to teach you a mantra that you can take with you. So I'm going to say it, and then you can repeat it, and we'll just repeat it a few times together. Grounded in love, I meet what comes. Grounded in love, I meet what comes. Grounded in love, I meet what comes. Grounded in love, I meet what comes.